Good morning, good morning. What a beautiful day to celebrate a grand occasion. My name is Michelle Madison with the Madison Group, and as a representative of eFix Development Corp., I would like to welcome each of you here this morning to witness this historic, groundbreaking celebration of this landmark location at 2023 Beatties Ford Road. While everyone could not attend here with us live on site due to COVID-19 restrictions, we are honored to have the community, our friends and supporters streaming with us live online to celebrate with us as well. Welcome to you. This project represents so much more than just a development. It represents promise, it represents hope, it represents vision manifested. It's a new day for the corridor, and we welcome you to be a part of that change. Welcome. Before we proceed, I want to take care of a few housekeeping items. We have restrooms over diagonally to my right, as well as we have Miss Mia with Blue Bison Coffee that's providing refreshments, coffee, and tea for us this morning. So certainly stop by there. And as everyone knows, we've all been truly impacted by COVID-19. These are truly some unprecedented times. To keep everyone safe, we're asking for everyone to wear your mask and to exercise social distancing. At this time, I'd like to call up Pastor Atkinson with Heights Ministries to come forward and bless us with a word of prayer. Pastor.
Good morning to everyone. What a great occasion it is for us to come to celebrate a vision that has come to pass that Christopher had and the impact that we believe is going to make on the economic development of this community. And so it is appropriate for us to ask God's blessings upon that. And if you don't mind, if you would join me in this word of prayer. God, we come this morning thankful for a vision that was given, a vision that was written, a vision that had faith, and a vision, God, that has been made plain. And God, for every vision, we know you have provision. And so, God, we're asking you to provide everything eFix needs in order for this economic development in this community to be blessed. Allow the project to be blessed, the workers to be blessed, the community to be blessed. And God, we're believing that this is not only a blessing for those who develop it and those owners who operate businesses within it, but we also think it will be a blessing to this community. And so, God, we ask you to allow the patrons to get behind the project as it becomes an economic driver for this community. But then, God, we're also asking you that and thanking you for all of those who collaborated and partnered together to make this happen. It happened because of your blessing and their surrender to the vision that you have given. And so, God, we ask your blessings now upon all of this in the name of who David said is the Most High God. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Pastor. At this time, I want to call forward a friend from the community, Jatanya Adams. And if you know this woman, you know she's a powerhouse. And if you're looking for a resource or a connection, Jatanya Adams will be one of the first that you give a call. Jatanya.
Good morning to you all and blessings. I stand before you on behalf of the Historic West End stakeholders and also as the founder and program director for the Historic West End Partners. I want to say to you that there can be a lot accomplished with a simple yes and some perseverance. Upon hearing of this opportunity to connect two great people, Mr. Rowe and Chris, it began with just a vision and a thought and a simple phone call. I called Chris, and Judge Faust, our chairman of the board of the Historic West End Partners, called Mr. Rowe. And it was just a simple, what if? And they both, that same day, said yes. So I want to let you know that the more yeses we have and the more we come together and connect, great things like this can happen. So to Mr. Rowe, I thank you. To Chris for stepping out into the deep, dream big, Think big, be big. This is the first manifestation of many. I thank you all for allowing us as a community to walk out our dreams for us, by us, forever.
Thank you, Jatanya. Together, we can certainly do more. This next gentleman to offer remarks this morning, I have the distinct honor to not only call my colleague, but also to call my friend. To walk along this journey with the eFix team has been a remarkable experience and truly a story of inspiration and faith in action. If you know the visionary leader that is Christopher Dennis, behind this great project at 2023 Beatties Ford Road, then you know Chris to be a humble spirit with an unyielding tenacity and an unwavering commitment to get the job done. At this time, I want to introduce to some and present to others Christopher Dennis, principal and owner of eFix Development Corp.
Good morning. I will definitely try and be brief, but I want to first say good morning to all those that are attending both virtually and on site. But I want to first give honor and glory to God, who is the head of my life. And thanks, and I always had a slogan that I always say, which is think big, dream big, and be big. And that's all about how God is changing and driving my life. I want to personally thank my parents who are here today, Mr. Frank and Joanne Dennis, and then my mother, Mary Howell, and Herman Howell, who are watching virtually, and to all my other family members who are watching this today, because what we're doing today is all for you. My name is Christopher Dennis, and I'm the CEO and founder of eFix Development Corp. We're a minority and a veteran-owned business here in Charlotte. I'm so excited to be here today. Before I get started, I want to extend a special thanks to Mayor Valau's. Thank you so much for what you do. And the entire city council and staff, because this would not be possible without all the work that you put in to help with us to make this happen. But I'd also like to take the opportunity as we sit here, look around the room and look around the audience at the community. This would not be possible without the support and the drive that the Western Corridor has. So give the community a hand, because this is possible because of them. I want to be sincere when I say this. I'm excited to be a part of the change that's happening on Beatties Ford Road, the West End Corridor. We've been on this journey since early 2019. It's been a long time. And to see this see this day come into fruition is truly inspiring for me, especially in the midst of a global pandemic, which has touched everyone's lives sitting here today. We're here to help facilitate positive change for all those who live, work, and invest in this community, which is the West End Corridor. Beatties Ford Road is strong because the people that live, work, and invest here. I'm proud to be one of those people that are working and living that dream. eFix Development Corp is working to bring a Class A development and projects that along Beatties Ford Road, which are all part of the city's corridor opportunities. We're looking forward to this development at this location and the positive impacts in the form of jobs, opportunities, and access to needed resources for this community at large. Our work is based on 3 pillars, and I'm very key about those 3 pillars. Local community engagement, engaging the community at all levels. Small business development, and then highlighting art and culture to drive intentional conversations. We believe in preserving history and culture of the West End community as we embrace the start of developments that will reshape the outside perception, and I do say perception, of the area and showcase what is a strong and vibrant community. We want to foster job creation by bringing businesses that can support the growth of the community and resources to enhance the community's vision for this corridor. At 2023 Beatties Ford Road, we have secured J.P. Morgan Chase as an anchor tenant. As the owner of eFix Development Corp., I'm dedicated to empowering and uplifting the community. As a community leader, we seek to collaborate on initiatives that will foster entrepreneurship, art, to preserve and share in the rich history of the West End Corridor. As we all know, and I say this with my heart really going out, that all this has not happened in a vacuum. I must send a huge thanks out to my core team for their dedication and hard work that has pushed this project forward and got us to where we are today. I want to do a special thanks to Boundary Street Advisors, the Matheson Group, Historic West End Partners, Vineyard Architects, the Lightner Construction Group, Delgar, Henson Foley, and Shook Kelly. There are countless others who have shared and poured into this project behind the scenes, and to you, I say thank you. It's because of you we're here today. Thank you, Mr. Rowe. Thank you, Judge Faust, for all the work you've done behind the scenes to help with this project. Special thanks to City Manager Marcus Jones, Councilman Malcolm Graham, and Councilman James Mitchell for all their restless support for this development. Thanks to the entire Economic Development and Planning Departments for all the effort and time the staff has put into these projects, including the Assistant City Manager Tracy Dotson, Ta Wu, Solomon Fortune, Todd DeLong, Aaron Shanty, Sherry Grant, and all the other city staff who have worked so hard on these projects that I have not named. In closing, I'd like to share a personal story. As we tried to determine whether to tear down this building behind you, I remembered reading an article about a guy named Mr. McDonald. This location, if you don't know, on the front part was the original McDonald's cafeteria. You see, when I read that article, it touched me in a way, because when I read the article, Mr. McDonald had a vision of bringing communities from all different backgrounds, walks of life, and nationalities together to have conversations about how they wanted to architect the community and what they wanted to look like. When I saw that, I realized that this building had history and culture that we needed to preserve, and we decided not to tear it down, but do a renovation here. Like Mr. McDonald, we wanted to bring people together to unify small businesses and uplift the entire community for all. He set the bar, and we want to continue to raise it. I want to recognize his granddaughter, who is here in attendance with us, Keisha Page, today. In closing, I want to say that Batesville Road is strong. It's strong because of the people that live, work, and invest here. And eFix Development Corp is so glad to be a part of that change and driving that initiative. Thanks to everyone here today. Thank you.
Next up, we will ask Mayor Lyles to come with remarks. We're so glad to have her here this morning, and thereafter, we will ask Councilman James Mitchell, City Council Member at Large, to come forward. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Michelle. Good afternoon, everyone, on this beautiful Charlotte blue sky day. You know, I'm not a preacher pastor, but I want to just draw an analogy about the idea of learning to fish. Now, Chris talked about all the people individually and all the concerted efforts to make this possible. But I want to talk about how I learned to fish, which meant you had to put the bait on the hook, and then you had to throw the line in. But in order to do that, you had to have weights on it. And those weights would anchor the opportunity for the fish to be caught. There are weights in this community that we don't even think about. Chris just talked about one, Mr. McDonald. I mean, I've eaten at that cafeteria way too often, and Keisha, the sage in that dressing was absolutely phenomenal. Now, I did not eat a peach cobbler every time I went, but most. Mr. Rowe, you've been dapper ever since I've known you. I don't know how to say that you're not only a financial real estate genius, but I tell you, your sartorial powers are great. Thank you for what you've done for this community. And I would say that Chris is a great young man, but the weights in his life, Frank and Joanne, you guys should be so very proud. There's nothing better than having a son that keeps faith and family in front of finances, and you guys have taught him that. So we're so much appreciative of that, because we wouldn't be here today, he wouldn't be here today without your support. And then finally, I want to say something about the anchors in this community. West Charlotte High School, thank you. Mr. Mitchell always remembers that line. West Charlotte High School was a place where tennis stars were, where academics were the first and foremost. And some way along the line, that weight got a little bit loose, but it's back today. When we get that new high school built, thanks to the county commission, when we get these kinds of things in this community that are going to anchor that weight. So there are many other ways that I could talk about, but I want to recognize all of the city council members. Now, Larkin Eggleston, I don't think that you've been addressed individually, but you know, it's 11 members of the council, and it takes 6 votes. But in this case, it was 11 votes. And that's what's going to anchor this for us. We see this as the anchor with the weights, the baits on the line. So come and join us on the west side. This corridor is going to make a difference. Thank you, everyone, for being out here today and being a part of it.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Let me take off my coat here. Let me, can you hold this for 1 second? And I promise I'm gonna stick to my 3-minute script here. That Donata's done a great job.
You have a ribbon hanging out of your pocket.
Oh, those keys. I'm driving my daughter's car. The mayor just called me out. Good morning, everyone. I do have some speaking notes that staff has prepared before me, and I'm promised to stay to 3 minutes, but can I go off script just for 30 seconds? Because sometimes you need to speak from your heart. And this is a special moment, not only for the city of Charlotte, but for this corridor, and for a gentleman I call Jackie Robinson. Now, you can talk to him later on why I gave him that name. But this really started in January at our retreat. And from January, this city council said, we need to do more than the shiny objects in our city. We need to take care of communities that need some loving. And Councilman Graham and the city council and the mayor and staff said, we're going to come up with the corridors of opportunity. So I wear this shirt today very proudly for our work. And so, city manager, I want to publicly say thank you for putting $24.5 million aside. Thank you. Tracy Dodson, thank you for putting up with Councilman Graham and myself for 3 o'clock phone calls, 12 o'clock in the morning to make things happen. Patrick Baker, thank you for signing that LOI. I'm glad I don't have to hear about no LOI anymore. But we say that because we wanted to do something special. So thank you all for being here, and help me in this chant. E-fix! 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 Thank you so much for this proud moment. Thank you. Without further ado.
Thank you, sir. Jamie. Oh.
No, go ahead.
Thank you, Councilman. At this time, we will call forward Jamie McDermott, Construction Manager, Leitner Construction.
Thank y'all. Thank y'all for being here. My name is Jamie McDermott, and I'm the construction manager for Leitner Construction on this project. I grew up not too far from here, off of Freedom Drive, and I also had the benefit of attending West Charlotte High School, graduated in the mid-90s. Dub C. You know, and that experience and the atmosphere at the time was very positive, a positive energy of togetherness and unity that has helped me in my professional construction abilities as far as, you know, creating teams and, you know, mutual respect between everyone. You know, you're going to get a better product, and you're going to get the productivity that you need, you know, when people are happy. And then that's the main thing. Teamwork is the key to a successful project. So concerning this project in particular, we were pre-qualified as a bidder for the project by Vignette Architecture and validated by Delgar Interiors, which we've had experience with both, with similar renovations. Most recently, Vignette and Leitner completed the New Havens Men's Shelter in Rock Hill just under a year ago, which opened right before Christmas, I believe, just in time to get the folks in there. But it was very similar square footages, very similar scope of work. So during our first meeting with the eFix, Chris and the team, it became apparent to us that Leitner shared the same common goals as Chris, Rodney, and the rest of the folks, that, you know, the best way to improve communities that have been left behind, so to speak, is to create opportunities for local businessmen and for families in the area surrounding us. So we pride ourselves at Leitner to always leave an area better than before we came here. And this project, especially to me, has a personal importance because I do consider this my neighborhood. I do. Since we've been awarded the project, I talk to Chris, Rodney, the whole design team daily. I mean, it's like we're friends, and that's the best way, like I said, to move forward on a project successfully. You know, that everything's open and honest, and we have honest conversations about anything under the sun. So, you know, and I personally have already seen the benefits of the excitement in the community, the foot traffic. You know, people are happy to see that this building in particular is not going to be demolished, that it's going to be renovated and brought back to its original grandeur. So, again, I appreciate everybody being here. It means a lot to us at Leitner and eFix. And, you know, I think Councilmember Graham is going to come up and say a few words about the project as well. Thank you all very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Jamie. Indeed, it's a great team and a great honor to work with this group to bring forward an awesome project. Next up, we have Councilman Malcolm Graham, District 2 Representative.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. It's extremely hard to follow the mayor. It's extremely hard to follow Councilmember Mitchell, for sure, but I'll try to do my best. I am just so proud to be here today. I'm proud to see Mr. Anderson there, Roy Anderson, who taught me when I was a student at Johnson C. Smith University. So we go way back. And I'm proud to stand here to support my good friend Chris to make his dreams, his goal, and his aspiration a reality, not only for himself, but for this community. We stand here today because of the rich history and legacy and tradition of a community. I came here, Roy Anderson, as a student, as you know, at Johnson C. Smith. I got my hair cut at Neil's Barbershop on the corner of Oaklawn and Beatty'sford Road. I ate hair at McDonald's Cafeteria. I went to church at Friendship Baptist Church. I went to the Shout revivals at the House of Prayer. This is what I call home, too. And I want my home to reflect the progressiveness of our community as a whole. This is not a District 2 project. This is a city-wide project that reflects the values of a community, that everyone deserves safe, affordable, decent housing, that every community deserves to live in a community free from crime, that every community deserves adequate shopping and finance, and every community deserves to be the best it can be. Chris has taken a giant step forward to ensure that this will happen on Beatty'sford Road. This is not just a groundbreaking. This is the first of many positive activities for this corridor. Chris is just leading the way. I assure you there will be others that will follow. And the city will do its fair share to ensure that those who just need just a little help to get across the finish line get the type of support that they need. I want to thank the mayor because she's been awful quiet today, but she was very instrumental in ensuring that I had the resources and the backing of the city to make this happen. So thank you, Madam Mayor. I want to thank the city manager. When I first got on council, he always used to return my phone calls promptly. Until we started talking about Batesford Road, because he said Malcolm was calling again. And I really want to thank Marcus and his team and his staff for really thinking out of the box to ensure that this project and others get off the ground. This is an intentional effort. We're not here by accident. We're here because everybody wanted to be here this morning. I want to thank Tracy and her staff and her team and Todd and all those who make this day possible. Councilmember Eggleston's here today. The mayor is absolutely right. It takes 11 votes sometimes. We just need 6. And he's a dependable colleague. And I really appreciate his support and him being here as well. And then the community as a whole. You know, we've waited a long time, right? The minister, go way back. He knows this corridor as well as I do. We waited a whole long time to be considered as a part of the fabric of this community. And we're going to get that done. I mean, again, this is just the first of many community initiatives. I can't wait until that streetcar starts running to lower end of Batesford Road and we light up that I-77 bridge when that Plaza Park is done. When Diane Ward opens those doors, where we support William Hughes, we support Chris today and others, because this is about community. And one thing about all of those individuals that I mentioned, and I think it's an important point to make, they all look like me. They all look like me who are willing to invest their dollars in this community. They all want to make sure that individuals in this community are part of the change and not victims of it. And so they want to make sure that everybody who lives in this corridor can stay in this corridor. So we'll be back shortly and talk about other things we want to do to make sure that happens. But today is Chris Day. And so we pause to celebrate his accomplishments. He's a man that knows the meaning of Phi Nu Pi, which means a lot to me. But he also knows the meaning of commitment and dedication. And he's my frat brother, but we go back and forth too. but we all want the same thing, right? I mean, and that's why we go back and forth. We want to make sure that when this building is completed and when we come back in a year from now to cut the ribbon to walk into the bank and deposit those dollars and other retail opportunities in this corridor, that we get it right. Not get it right for Chris, but get it right for the business owners that follow behind him. And that's what this day is all about. Phi Nu, my brother.
Thank you, Councilman. We can certainly all see and feel the excitement along the corridor. And if you follow developments in the corridor for any period of time, then you know or have heard of this next gentleman, Rodney Faulkner, Principal, Boundary Street Advisors.
Thank you, Michelle. I'm going to be really brief. I want to definitely say thank you to Chris and his team for allowing me to be part of this team. I grew up in the corridor and worked at this food line, worked at McDonald's my whole life. And so this corridor is me. And so it was really important for me to be a part of a project that was going to be transformative and be able to be a positive beacon of hope for the entire community. And so, you know, I'm just blessed to be able to see all the things I had in my head actually happen. And we're going to continue to make this a concerted effort. And everything that we do is going to be great at this center, as well as other projects. And we just want to make sure that the neighborhood knows that we are very thoughtful about being being able to bring things to the neighborhood that are on other sides of town, and very intentional about making sure whatever we do is for them and it's well thought out. So we're going to continue to go after Class A tenants in the corridor and do Class A developments. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Rodney. And at this time, I want to call a list of individuals up to actually do the groundbreaking. Christopher Dennis, eFix Development, Rodney Faulkner, Boundary Street Advisors, Jatanya Adams, Historic West End Partners, Manning Gibson, Delgar, Rachel Pierce, Vignette Architecture, Jack Leitner, Leitner Construction, Councilman James Mitchell, Member at Large, Charlotte City Council, Councilman Malcolm Graham, Charlotte City Council District 2 Representative, and myself, Michelle Madison, the Madison Group. Thank you. Okay. And Mayor Byloud, I apologize.
You can get up there. I'm background singer. Will this move?
It's locked.
I definitely want to say that Evanston is my district rep on the north side, so thank you so much.
Y'all did the work. You voted for it. That's the easy part.
All right, so I'm going to count down and turn it there as I count down. Count down from 5.
Wait, where we doing it? Where? Oh, they're doing
Watch out,
Turn to the right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yes, sir.
All right. Okay. Thank you, everyone. Christopher, would you like to have some closing remarks?
Yes.
Closing remarks?
We didn't leave us in the meeting.
Before we close out,
Let's call it off. Anna, Patrick.
And now this is the photo for the internal city propaganda magazine to show the work that we do.
good morning, Tracy.
Good morning, how are you doing? Congratulations.
We finally made it.
We made it.
Thank you, Ty. Good morning. Ty,
Where's Patrick?
here you go. I didn't even get out. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
Okay.
Chris,
Yes.
you ready for the countdown again?
You ready? Everybody shovel? All right. You ready? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Woo!
Great job.
I'll say, guys, I just want to say that the Economic Development team, the people you see up here today, these have been some of the champions. We've been on calls, I say, a lot. But we were able to get the job done. And that's what I think when we started to talk about doing developments and being part of the community, this was all about coming together and getting to this point to make it happen. So I want to personally thank all of you guys for all the work that you did and all the phone calls. So, awesome.
And thank you. Thank you for being the first and hopefully many, many more.
All right. I'm excited. So Michelle, we closing out? All right, so with that, I want to definitely say, I'm not on script anymore. I really want to say that this day, I want to thank everybody for coming out today. For those that are on site and those that are watching us online, this is a day that will mark a part of the history of the movements that we're pushing forward at Batesville Road. But I really want to say that this day is about the community. So as the community continues to watch this, please understand that the things that we're doing, I want to make make sure that all the community gets involved and get engaged and be a part of that change. And for me, I'm looking to help, again, push the vision forward of the legacy of this building and what we're doing. So I'm looking forward to the groundbreaking and all the people being involved. So again, thank you for coming, and I'll close out with that. Thank you, Michelle.
Thank you, everyone. Please stop by Blue Bison Coffee and grab yourself a latte or a cup of tea or a West Charlotte alum.